The Girl Who Saved a Stranger, a heartwarming mystery and adventure story. The rain had been falling since afternoon. The streets of the small town of Ashwood were almost empty. Streetlights reflected on the wet roads, making everything glow in shades of gold and silver. 17-year-old Emily Carter hurried home after finishing her part-time job at the town library. She pulled her hood tighter against the cold wind. Emily was known for one thing: she could never ignore someone who needed help. As she crossed the old stone bridge, she noticed something unusual. A man lay unconscious near the roadside. Cars drove past without stopping. People glanced at him but continued walking. Emily hesitated only for a second. She rushed over. "Sir, can you hear me?" No response. His clothes were torn and there was a cut on his forehead. Emily immediately called an ambulance. Within minutes, the flashing blue lights arrived. One paramedic smiled. If you hadn't stopped, this man might not have survived. Emily watched as they drove away. She never imagined this single decision would completely change her life. The next morning, Emily visited the hospital. The doctors told her the man had regained consciousness but remembered almost nothing. His wallet was missing. No identification. No phone. Nothing. When Emily entered the room, the man looked at her with tired eyes. "Were you the one who saved me?" She nodded. "Thank you. My name is Emily." He smiled faintly. "I wish I could remember mine." Doctors called him John Doe until his identity could be discovered. Emily began visiting every day. The stranger was kind and intelligent. Although he couldn't remember his past, he remembered how to read, write, and solve difficult puzzles. But every night, he dreamed of someone chasing him. A week later, 2 men in expensive suits arrived at the hospital. They claimed to be relatives. Something felt wrong. Emily noticed the stranger looked frightened. "I don't know these men." The visitor smiled politely. "He has memory loss." Emily immediately informed the nurse. Hospital security asked the men to leave. Before walking away, one of them quietly whispered, "We'll find him." Emily's heart raced. Who were they? That evening, Emily found something unusual. While washing the stranger's jacket, the hospital staff discovered a tiny folded piece of paper sewn inside the lining. It contained only 3 words: "Trust no one." Below it was a strange symbol. The stranger stared at it. "I've seen this before." But where? He couldn't remember. Emily realized someone had hidden this message on purpose. Someone knew danger was coming. Late that night, the hospital lost power. Emergency lights flickered. Emily happened to be visiting. She heard footsteps outside the room. Someone slowly opened the door. A shadow entered. Emily quickly locked the bathroom door with the stranger inside. She quietly called the police. The intruder searched the room before escaping. Minutes later, officers arrived. But the man was gone. The stranger looked shaken. "They're trying to kill me." Days later, fragments of memory slowly returned. The stranger finally remembered his name: Daniel Reed. He wasn't an ordinary traveler. He worked as an investigative journalist. Daniel had uncovered a powerful criminal organization involved in illegal human trafficking and corruption. Before publishing the evidence, someone attacked him. His memory loss had accidentally protected him. Emily realized she hadn't just saved one man. She had saved countless future victims. Daniel suddenly remembered one more thing. There was a flash drive. "Where?" "I hid it. But I can't remember where." They searched every pocket. Nothing. Finally, Emily examined his old backpack. Inside the shoulder strap, hidden beneath the fabric, she found a tiny USB drive. Daniel smiled. "You found it." The drive contained photographs, videos, financial records, everything needed to expose the criminal network. Daniel contacted a trusted police detective. The officers arranged to collect the evidence. But before they arrived, the criminals appeared. Black SUVs surrounded the street. Emily and Daniel escaped through the back entrance. They ran across rooftops, through crowded markets, down narrow alleys. Emily almost dropped the flash drive. Daniel caught her hand. "We can't lose this." Finally, police vehicles blocked every exit. The criminals surrendered after a brief chase. The evidence was safe. Weeks later, the news spread across the country. The criminal organization had been dismantled. Dozens of missing people were rescued. Corrupt officials were arrested. Daniel became a national hero. But during every interview, he said only one thing: the real hero is Emily. If she had walked away that rainy evening, none of this would have happened. Emily felt embarrassed by the attention. "I only did what anyone should do." Daniel smiled. "Most people didn't stop." "You did." Months later, Daniel's memory had fully returned. He published a best-selling book about the investigation. The first page was dedicated to Emily, to the girl who reminded the world that kindness can save lives. Emily continued volunteering in her community. She never expected rewards for helping others. One rainy evening, she crossed the same old bridge. She paused. Someone else had stopped to help a stranger whose bicycle had broken down. Emily smiled. Kindness had become contagious. Sometimes, one small act of compassion doesn't just change one life. It changes the world. Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of kindness. A single decision to help someone in need can create a chain of hope, courage, and justice that changes many lives. Sometimes, the greatest heroes are ordinary people who choose compassion over convenience.